Hi guys, so this video is going to be brief. I missed something in the work video 2016 to 2017, and I'm not sure how I did this. I sort of jumped from January to July 2017 and forgot something in the middle, and it's worth mentioning because it highlights a couple autism things. So I volunteered at a YMCA gym in the child minding room from the months I just said, January to July 2017. I started late January and I left early July. Um, so I'd actually had wanted to go back to the gym where I had previously done child minding volunteering, and that proved to be impossible. The first time I went there, I literally walked in, gave the manager my resume. They had me do like a background check once they, had an opening for me, and that was that. This time I went to three different clubs. It's a well-known Canadian fitness club. I went to three different locations. Two people barely gave me the time of day. One was at least friendly and said she would pass it on to her manager. I never heard back from any of them despite phone calls. So I gave up and went elsewhere and decided to go to the YMCA, even though it was not that close to my house. It was something to get me out of the house and to stop me from having gaps on my resume. So I did that, and I liked it sometimes. The challenge was it was weird hours. It was like 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. on a Thursday, and sometimes you would get an older child during the later hour, but there was rarely any children there at all after 6:30. And I would get sent to the front desk, which I didn't hate. A few years ago, I wouldn't have been able to cope. Now I could do it. I was mostly just folding towels and, watching people as they signed in, make sure they had their membership on them. But that was not what I signed up for, and I wasn't thrilled that I kept ending up at the desk. Um, but nonetheless, I was actually going to keep going with it when the next session started. One session ended in June, and then they released their summer schedule. And I was going to keep going with it, but when I went in for the first day of July, or the first day of the summer session, which is early July, it was a different person. And the guy I had worked with, the paid employee, he was younger than me, but he was very mature, and he was fun, he was easygoing. When I walked in to see a different woman there, I got very anxious, like a child walking into class and seeing a supply teacher. And it was uncomfortable. I didn't enjoy it, and no kids showed up that day. It was a holiday weekend. I'd been moved to Mondays. There was no Thursday child minding in the summer session, so I was moved to Mondays. It was a holiday weekend, and nobody showed up. I was stuck talking to this lady for 2 hours. At least she didn't send me to the desk, I guess. But it was very uncomfortable. So that was one of the reasons I'd left. And the other reason I left was because of a huge impulse. I had had a fight with my stepdad and was saying I wanted to move out, which has happened many, many times. And I found a place in another city, west of Toronto. It was a bachelor apartment, and I thought I could afford it on my benefit money, which I'll explain in the next video. Um, it looked online like it was a decent bachelor apartment, and I knew it was going to be, tight financially, but I thought I could do it. And I thought going up to see the apartment was a formality. I was telling everyone I was moving out there. I ultimately left the YMCA. I emailed the lady saying I was moving out of the area. Um, but I probably would have left anyway because I wasn't comfortable with that change. But yeah, so I didn't end up moving. We went out there, and the place was barely legal, I would say. I think unless your alternative is the street, that's not a place most people would choose to live. So I highlight that because that impulsiveness, that executive functioning deficit, that's a hallmark of autism that people may not recognize as autism. So I wanted to highlight that. And then, of course, the anxiety around the staff member changing. So I guess that's about it. I want to highlight those two things. When it went well, I did have fun there. there just was not a lot of children. If you think about, 5:30 to 7:30, a lot of young children, even preschool, kindergarten age children, that's sort of dinner time, bath time, bedtime, that kind of, So when they're doing that routine, that's often that sentence was not good English. Often that routine falls in that time span when the child minding was open. So sometimes we had one child who would come for the first like half hour or so regularly, but often, like I said, there were no children there. It was boring. So I'm not bothered that I left. It fills in a space on my resume, and I just want to highlight those autism things for you. So thank you.